What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Inkslasher, and welcome to another episode of 5 Things You Didn't Know About Black Ops 4. Specifically, today we are going to be looking at a map that everyone knows and loves and only recently came to Black Ops 4, and that, of course, is going to be Nuketown. Now, Nuketown's been in the Black Ops series all the way since Black Ops 1, and it has been filled with many different Easter eggs, and Black Ops 4 is no different. Now, as of right now, you can't go into Nuketown in custom games on PS4, Xbox, or PC. However, someone on YouTube actually glitched it so that they could get into custom games, so we are going to be talking about the mannequin Easter egg today as well. But there's not only that, there's many other Easter eggs we're going to look at as well, but I think the one most people want to hear about is the mannequin Easter egg, so we're going to start by talking about that one. Now, before we get into the Easter eggs, I just wanted to mention that later today at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch. My Twitch link is going to be the first link down in the description, and I'm going to be doing it in open lobby. So if you want to play some Black Ops 4 with me, check out that link down in the description, and hopefully I see you on Twitch. So as I mentioned, right now you cannot get into custom games. However, someone on YouTube by the name of JXNasty02 actually somehow glitched the game on PC, got into a custom game on Nuketown, and did the Easter egg. Now, the gameplay you're watching here is his, so if you want to check out his channel, I'll link it down in the description. But as far as this Easter egg goes, it is very similar to what we saw in Black Ops 3. The question is, how do you actually do the Easter egg? And it is very simple. This is the part that's exactly the same as Black Ops 3. Once you spawn into the game, you run around the map and try to shoot off all of the mannequin heads as fast as possible. Now, whether there is a time constraint on this, I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I can't get into custom games, but in Black Ops 3, you had to do it quick, so I would assume it was the same in this game. Now, once you've actually shot off all the mannequin heads, this is where things start to get a little bit different. The first thing you're going to notice is in the middle of the map, the rocket launches. Now, this normally happens at the very end of a game on Nuketown. However, if you do this Easter egg, it will launch. Then once the nuke goes up into the air, it'll blow up in the sky and create this big purple rift. Now, out of the rift, mannequins will start falling from the sky and then chasing you around the map, similar to what they did in Black Ops 3. So essentially, this Easter egg is just the Black Ops 3 Easter egg on complete steroids. Now, the big question after this is, in Black Ops 3, there was 2 mannequin Easter eggs. As of right now, we only know of one, and it is the one we are seeing here. In Black Ops 3, if you shot off the arms and head of all the mannequins, it would then spawn a Weeping Angels Easter egg, as people like to call it. And basically what that was is the mannequins would chase you around, but every time you would actually look at them, they would stop moving. And then if you'd look away, they'd chase you again, and if you looked at them, they stopped. As of right now, we don't have anything like that in the game. However, like I mentioned, there is no custom games at this point, so once more people get their hands on this, that may change, or there may be something else altogether in this game that's completely different from Black Ops 3. Now, moving on, the next Easter egg is one that has actually once again been in every single Black Ops map, but has changed in Black Ops 4, and that would be the mailboxes. So in previous Call of Duty games, this was also an Easter egg. So in Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, the mailboxes were actually very similar, in which both of them had the same name written on them, Mason and Woods, which is of course 2 of the main characters from those campaigns. Now, this changed in Black Ops 3, and the characters on the mailbox were Hendricks and Corvus, which were essentially the 2 bad characters in Black Ops 3. Now, once again, going forward to Black Ops 4, this Easter egg has once again changed, and since the map takes place in Chernobyl, which is in the Ukraine, which is of course right around the corner from Russia, the 2 main characters are Reznov and Petrenko, which are 2 of the Russian characters from previous Black Ops games. Now, as far as the rest of the writing on here, the NO4TA, the 4 is actually a Y in Russian, and it means Nyota, and basically in Russian, that just means postage. Now, not to mention that these characters actually go back further than the Black Ops games, all the way to World at War, in which during the Vendetta mission, which is the sniper mission, these are the 2 characters in that mission. You play as Petrenko, and you are assisted by Reznov. So the previous 2 Nuketown maps took place in America, and the 2 mailboxes belong to Mason and Woods Americans. When the map actually takes place in Chernobyl, which is close to Russia, the 2 houses belong to Petrenko and Reznov, 2 Russian characters. Now moving forward, the next Easter egg is actually one that has never been in a Nuketown map before, and it's interesting and odd all at the same time. So if you work your way into the bottom of the yellow house, or what used to be the yellow house, and the bottom floor, there is this slideshow playing projected onto a screen. Now this slideshow shows maps from previous Black Ops games and Black Ops 4, but they really don't make any sense. So here's what I mean. So what we're going to do here is go through each slide, and I will explain to you what they mean, where they represent, and then at the end we're going to talk about how they can possibly be connected. So the first one we're looking at here is the original Nuketown sign from the original Black Ops 1 map. That one's pretty self-explanatory. The next slide is an image of the original Nuketown map. The way you can tell is the nuke countdown timer is off in the distance on that tower in the picture. The next slide, this map you are looking at here is Yemen from Black Ops 2. After this, we have WMD from Black Ops 1, followed up by Launch from Black Ops 1. Then we have this map here. It's definitely the hardest to see out of all of them, but I believe it is Slums from Black Ops 2, and as we know, it is also in Black Ops 4. This next one here is an interesting one. It's actually a bird's eye view of the original Nuketown map from Black Ops 1. And then finally, the last image we have is of this deer. Now, this is the only image that isn't of a previous Call of Duty map, but what I can tell you is that this deer is actually on this Nuketown map across the other side, just outside of the boundaries. So as far as how all of these maps and images are connected, I truly have no idea. I tried to link the maps together. Maybe there were maps where WMDs or nukes were found, but honestly, I have no idea of how these maps are connected, let alone the deer head. So if you have any ideas, feel free to let me know down in the comments, but as of right now, I have no frickin' clue. Up next, a little Easter egg that has been on every single Call of Duty map, and that is, of course, the Nuketown sign. On every single Nuketown sign, there is always a population counter that shows the amount of players that are currently spawned in on the map. This is no difference in Black Ops 4. There's really nothing else for me to say about it, other than, once again, it returns in this game. And speaking of things that were in previous Call of Duties, one more addition to this map that wasn't in the past couple Nuketown maps is the RC track that goes out of the map and into the other spawn. In this case, it actually goes underground through the nuke silo and into the other team's spawn. This was actually shown really early on, even in the trailer for the Nuketown map. Now, the final thing I wanted to talk about in this video is some potential DLC weapons that aren't really an Easter egg, but are interesting that they're found on the map. So if you once again go to the yellow house and go to the garage, there are two different types of weapons that aren't currently in Black Ops 4, but are clearly there in the coding, or at least the visuals are there. So the first one we're looking at here is the Dragunov. This is a semi-automatic sniper rifle, has been in many Call of Duties before, and is a Russian weapon, which is hence why we are finding it on this map. Similarly, another Russian weapon that is found several places throughout this map is the AK-47. So the AK-47 is once again in the same garage, and as I mentioned, is found throughout the map. And as of right now, there isn't really an AK-47. The closest thing that we have to it is the KN-57, which has some similar aspect, but isn't directly an AK-47. So does this guarantee that these weapons are coming to the game? No, absolutely not. But what this does mean is that there is coding in the game for the visuals for these weapons, which would make the development of these weapons and to add them into the game much easier than something else that is completely new. So it is possible that these could be future DLC weapons. So this concludes 5 hidden Easter eggs on the map Nuketown. Let me know down in the comments which of these you did know, which of these you didn't know. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. Now, the one thing I will say before the end of this video is I am willing to bet that these are not all of the Easter eggs on this map. So if I missed anything, feel free to let me know. But on top of that, I'm betting that there is a more in-depth Easter egg that we simply haven't figured out yet because the map isn't in custom games. For example, the Weeping Angels Easter egg that we saw in Black Ops 3. However, there's some certain things on this map that don't completely add up. For example, the slideshow of the different maps that we looked at today, they don't really fit together, so I don't know why that's there. On top of that, there is a room in the other building that is full of telephones, and I have no idea what these telephones are for, what they are used for, or whether they have to do with an Easter egg altogether, but it is a very odd room, and I'm guessing it has something to do with some Easter egg that we just haven't figured out yet. So if you have any ideas ideas, any Easter eggs I missed, feel free to let me know down in the comments. I'm also curious what you guys think of this Nuketown map. I've heard really mixed reviews. First of all, I think a lot of people like it visually but don't like the way it plays, so feel free to let me know that down in the comments as well. On top of that, guys, if you did enjoy this type of video, want to see more videos that having to do with Easter eggs, maybe on other maps or in Blackout, feel free to let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoy this kind of thing, simply hit that like button and it shows me you enjoy more videos like this one. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
Paradigm.